This is Gunther, and my name is Linda Kundert, and I'm very pleased to welcome him to this interview today and to welcome him as a new Cassa expert of instructors. And he's going to be teaching our beginner for guitar. And this is Cassa's 30th year, so we're very excited to have you here.
Oh, thanks so much for having me, Linda.
And so I have a few questions for you. And I'm wondering, first of all, how is it that you chose guitar as your career?
Choosing guitar as my career, well, it's kind of funny. I obviously, when I started out playing guitar, I never thought I could make a career of it. I just loved playing guitar. It was something that, nobody had to tell me to practice. You would actually have to tell me to stop. I mean, I couldn't stop listening to music and playing the guitar. So, as my studies progressed and I got into university, it was never my intention to teach initially. It was proposed to me that I should consider teaching, and when I started, I fell in love with it right away. Immediately, I found out that it's not only made me a better musician, a better guitarist, of course, but I found out that I loved working with people from all backgrounds and ages and abilities, and just trying to find out, developing techniques and tactics to sort of amplify or tailor to each student's specific needs was a really, really wonderful challenge that I love doing. So really, really just kind of working with different people, and of course just developing both my musicianship and students I work with. It became an addiction actually.
That's wonderful and lucky for us, lucky for them. So I'm wondering why you enjoy teaching beginners in particular, as you're going to be teaching our guitar for beginners.
Well, with beginners, the thing about that is it reminds me immediately of the first lessons I got to take guitar, and just how exciting that was. And in my very first lesson, I think I learned just two chords in that first lesson, and right away just opened up this entire world of possibilities for me. It was so exciting. With just those two chords, I saw that okay, I could play along with this music that I loved, and so when I'm working with beginners, I just love that idea that I'm introducing them to this sort of lifelong passion for the first time, and allowing them um, to elevate and enjoy the music and appreciate music for that's going to be in place for their whole lives.
Well, that sounds wonderful. I think it's the most important feature, actually. Now, I'm wondering what you will cover in your guitar sessions. We have a workshop coming up on May the 6th in the
Mhm.
morning, and then on the third week of July, it is the 3 hour per day camp in the summer.
Right. Yeah. So for the workshop, for that first little workshop, we'll start with just beginning to develop a foundation of technique on the guitar and learning how to first play just on the open strings while maintaining and developing this introductory technique. They'll also be learning to read music on the guitar in the first position, specifically on the first three strings of the guitar while accompanying with the open bass strings. We'll then be exploring some very simple introductory chords, about three chords that we can use so that we can strum to sort of like a campfire style, folk style song that they can learn. And they'll also be exposed to tablature, which is sort of the communication that we use for most popular music in guitar. So sort of three main things that they'll be doing to just give them a brief overview, but also set them on their way to start playing right away. Oh, sorry, go on.
That sounds fantastic. So tell us where you will move forward or how you will move forward from that, let's say during the summer.
So in the summer, this will of course expand upon all these ideas. We'll be developing further reading on all strings on the guitar in the first position using standard notation. We'll also be expanding their knowledge of playing open chords in the first position, which will introduce a couple little bit more complex chords than what they'll see in the one-day workshop. And we'll also be developing, working on essentially a large ensemble piece for the group to play, where some of the group will be playing these arpeggios, the other group side of the group will be playing these melodies. And then we're also kind of put all this into play into another popular tune, again, where we'll be learning some strumming patterns and strumming styles, again, for that sort of campfire folk type of guitar, and we'll also be using some lead guitar lines that will accompany these. Each morning we'll start off with a little sort of technique workshop and warm up to again progress those technical abilities and developing the finger technique in each hand. And by the end of the week, again, we should have these pretty large, substantial tunes that we'll be working on.
Well, that's impressive. So we look forward to having you do that, and for those who join us this summer, we'll look forward to meeting them. Is there anything else that you would like to tell us about yourself, for instance, some of the other projects that you're working on, or?
Um, wow. So I suppose the biggest project I'm trying to work on right now is finally, after the last few years of sort of lockdowns and getting back to normal life and in-person events and that sort of thing. Finally getting a chance to get back into the studio to record. So I'm recording my third solo classical guitar album. That will be at the end of June. And so I'm very much looking forward to putting all those pieces together, and of course practicing my heart out, and doing as much as I can to make sure I'm prepared to do this. And I'm really looking forward to sharing all that music with everyone.
Well, that's an exciting project for sure. And I understand you're a teacher at Mount Royal College,
Mhm.
and also, can you tell us a little more? Other
That of course keeps me pretty busy from Mondays to Fridays, teaching both private lessons and ensemble classes for the Academy Music program at MRU, where students are doing master classes each week with visiting artists, and they're working in trios and quartets. In addition to that, I'm also an adjudicator for the Royal Conservatory, based out of Toronto, where I get to adjudicate exams all over North America. What's interesting in the last few years is we've been doing online exams, so I get to see candidates from as far away as China and London, England. I've had some candidates that have adjudicated, so that's always really fun and quite a joy to see. Again, just this large spectrum of ages and abilities from mostly North America, but around the world. So that's quite fun.
It sounds very exciting and a wonderful life. Well, thank you for the interview today, Brett, and appreciate it very much.
Thanks so much, Linda. Looking forward to everything.